What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Ross the Boss coming at you with an all-new Let's Play Europa Universalis 4. As you can see here, we just finished up our previous war against Quaraquanalu. We took over a variety of provinces, and of course we now have access to, looking at our trade goods map mode, we have access to a lot of silk provinces, or at least we will in just a few moments. We have some dyes, we have some spices, we have some very nice sugar production as well. And altogether, we are definitely the already #1 power in the world, and we are going to try to make it our best to stay that way. In the meantime, we are going to see some Albanian separatists. I believe the best way to stop them, we have 2 of these provinces. We are going to camp out in the mountains, so by the off chance that they do actually spawn, we are going to have the advantage. Otherwise, we could crush them in the grasslands. We are going to see some Orthodox zealots in Theodoro, primarily because we are still changing it to Coptic. And just like that, we are going to be doing fine. Going to be sending my 7 new barks on a mission. We have currently 7 protecting our trade in Aleppo. Let us send us to Alexandria to protect trade. It doesn't look like we're going to make much here. Can we get income from Constantinople? We cannot. What about, well, Ragus is the wrong way. What about Crimea? We'll make 0.46 in profit, so we'll send you up that way. Looking at my actual trade, I'm going to recall this merchant and send you up to Crimea whenever I can. And we should have a few more ducats flowing into our node. What else can I do? Looking at our subjects, we have Syria, who is disloyal, and we have Crimea, who is just outright rebellious. But you know what? That is obviously my fault. We did change their religion to Coptic, and they have converted a few provinces, not many, but I believe 3 provinces so far have now changed from Sunni to Christian, which is exactly what we want to have happen. We have a surplus of income. We are not at war, so we obviously don't need to be paying for our forts. We are going to keep our army maintenance as high as it is right now. Theodoro has been converted. We have now completed our mission, which of course was to convert Theodoro to Coptic, giving us a very nice reward of 1% missionary strength. I believe it's for the next 10 years or so. Liberate Alexandria. We would gain the Pearl of the Mediterranean, a lot of local missionary strength. We could conquer Levat, which seems much easier. Incorporate Syria into our country. I actually want to do all of these things, but I think Levant, I'm horrible at pronunciation. It will be most of these territories, as far as I'm concerned. But unfortunately, we're going to have to annex all of Syria first. So I believe our goal will be to liberate Alexandria, and we'll try our best to make that happen. We are no longer in a war with Karaman. We are very close to having full and maximum manpower. Let's send over our missionary to Crete, so that way we don't have any islands that could eventually hurt us in the long run. Basically, the reason why I don't want rebels popping up on the islands, it could be very, very challenging to send a fleet over and get that crossing penalty. Okay, once again, I'm really liking this extra missionary strength from that mission. Let's take out some of the harder ones. This one looks like 26%, 2.10% unity. Now, we do have 74% religious unity. The Protestant Reformation has begun. And of all provinces, it's in Riga. What an absolute waste. A 1 province minor, but hopefully things will change. Let us improve relations with France. Well, better yet, let's look at Poland. Ishak Bali, controversial protectionist. Since starting providing advice for the trade development and the Ottomans, internal trade has been strengthened at the cost of curtailed imports and increased state regulation. While their decision to improve infrastructure has been appreciated, recent suggestions have caused many influential people to question their philosophy. They argue that the Padishah is taking Ishak's advice too readily, and that we should look for mutually beneficial deals with other nations rather than seeking to dominate every area of trade. Ooh, we could definitely gain more mercantilism, or we could lose legitimacy. Or both. Our trader would leave. Now, I think what we definitely want is the mercantilism. This is literally 200 mercantilism. 200 diplomatic power for free. So we're going to take that. Essentially, what mercantilism does, if you're new to the game, we have trade power and a variety of different nodes. As long as we have, I believe, as long as we have any trade power, so even in Ragusa, and a variety of other provinces such as Ostraka, Persia, and Basra, we are going to get double whatever our mercantilism is in trade power. So, we currently have a mercantilism of 13%, so I'm not entirely 100% sure, but I think we're going to get 26 trade power in every single node, which actually isn't very much, but it's in every single node. So, I mean, you can see here we have 263, so 10% of that came from our mercantilism. And it's kind of nice, because if you look at a lot of these other provinces, I think 26 of this trade power came from mercantilism. I'm not sure how accurate that was, but I'm obviously I'm kind of right along those lines, but those numbers might be off a little bit. Okay, we are still waiting for the Albanian separatists. As soon as we can, I would like our cores to finish up. That way we could send over our troops. Let's get these 18,000 out of here. And I would like to gear up for a war against the Mamluks. And it looks like they did not spawn in the mountains, sending over 18,000 troops with my Mehmet, our heir, who is a 024. I hope he dies. And we'll get a better son. We have a lot of excess income. We're probably going to use it against the Mamluks. But for the time being, I'm going to consolidate my troops over in this direction. We are missing 18,000. I'm not sure where they are. Here they are. We'll bring you over here to the mountains. And what we want to do is bring our army maintenance down to about 20, probably about 15%. So now we're making 16 ducats every single month. We are obviously going to be pressing these claims. Looks like they will never go away because they're reconquest. Looking at our diplomatic map mode. I almost said democratic, it's diplomatic. I would obviously like to attack the Mamluks, return a lot of territory to Syria, but they don't like me as it is, and I'm a little concerned. You know, it obviously could change. What I would like to do is take Alexandria for myself, liberate a lot of these provinces back to Syria, and then begin my annexation. And without further ado, I believe I'm probably going to declare war. Morocco won't join in, which is nice. Hejaz won't join in. Ethiopia might. I don't know what I'm going to do just yet. Adal will join in. And Karaman will join in. Okay, well, I guess what we'll do, while we're waiting for our cores to finish, and it looks like they've just finished up, we're going to wait one more month. That way we could really milk out all of this extra income. And we made 14 ducats. So now our entire goal is to get full army maintenance, bring our infantry down. I think we're going to need 18,000 troops on both sides. And then we're going to have 18,000 troops here in Syria. Now, the entire goal is there's not too many provinces, but 5 of these provinces here belong to Syria. I want all of them to be returned, and then I'm going to have one massive annexation. And if everything goes according to plan, which it probably will not, I would like to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional provinces. So 10 provinces in total, taking Alexandria and liberating our last and final province from the Sunni faith. So once we have all 5 provinces, we'll get all 5 blessings, which all we are missing is Alexandria. The Great Naval Reform. We could build the Imperial Halych Shipyard, 617 ducats, but for the rest of the game, we get a 5% ship cost reduction, which sounds really broken. Or I could get 50 diplomatic power or 50 military power. I think we're going to build the shipyard, because I believe this is an investment that will pay for itself in time. Looking at early Carracks, just for themselves, they're 50 ducats. So we would probably have to produce... Oh my goodness. A couple thousand ships for it to pay for itself, but I hope it will. And I believe because ships now cost less, I believe their maintenance is a little less as well. Not by much, but having less ship cost could certainly be very beneficial as well. We are slowly making our way up to our maximum manpower, and I guess without further ado, I'm going to declare war on the Mamluks, obviously destroying Karaman first before I actually make my move. All of these units are going to make their way to Cyprus, so they don't get destroyed and demolished. We have 38 ships that can be put to good use. We're going to do something like this. We're looking for another 7. They are around here somewhere. You 7 are going here. Looking for 7 trade ships. I must be blind. Here they are. Moving you all the way to Cyprus. Or better yet, let's have all of you protect Crimea. And then have you protect Crimea as well. And then if everything goes according to plan, they should gear up and have 14 ships in total. Okay, so as my fleets are gearing into position, we are now going after the Mamluks. Adal and Karaman are all going to be joining in. The entire goal is to reconquest this territory, and I do understand that we are going to try to take all of this territory as well. I have no idea if it's going to work out in our favor. We are having a variety of naval battles. You are going to head to Highland territory. You are going to bring over the air. We won a battle. You are going to go here and then there. Or better yet, you're going to go here and then demolish whatever was left. Looks like you're going to have to retreat to Konya. Hopefully we could stack wipe these troops. New trade research is heretical. Let's lose some prestige. Now if we could stack wipe these troops, that could mean we don't have to chase them down, and it looks like we are going to be chasing them down. Let's split this army in half. Split you in half, and have some go here as well. Okay, everybody is performing well. Gonna move you up just a little bit. We have a variety of navies that are doing their job. Incorruptible, death to spies. Now, I would like to get a separate piece from Karaman right off the bat, so then I won't have to necessarily worry about them for too much longer. Converting Naxos. It was definitely a great investment to become the Defender of the Faith. Not only do I get more morale, but if you look at our stability and expansion modifier, I have Defender of the Faith bonus. So every month that goes by, war exhaustion ticks down, or at least it doesn't tick up as much, which actually adds up. Okay, looks like we have some rebels here up in Crimea. They are both pretender rebels, but they are my vassal, so it doesn't necessarily matter. A sacked monastery. One of our provinces has sent representatives to request resources and support and the restoration of an old monastery recently sacked in a bandit raid. The foundations of the stone walls were set generations ago, and the people in the area long for nothing more than to restore the building and make it a beacon of holy worship. Any aid given to the community would potentially impress the locals. Okay. Let's send them some resources. Any/all gets... Okay, so we get development cost reduction for the next 10 years, or we could lose 10 prestige. Part of me wants to restore the monastery because I believe we're going to have some excess diplomatic power sometime soon. So might as well send them some resources. It's only 94 ducats, but unfortunately we don't really have too much gold to begin with. We are definitely going to need to send up some units. We're sending up 18,000 troops to assist wherever we can. Let's also get our fleet up here to transport. We have 18 cogs that need to be put to good use. So altogether, we should have 36,000 troops on the Mamlukan coast. And while we can, I was thinking about placating local rulers in Syria, but I think we're going to pass for now. I am going to detach the blockade, whoever is excess, send you this direction, detach the blockade, and send you over here. So that way we have every port blockaded to the best of our ability. Going from 53% to probably around 70% or 75%. I can call in my allies, Ethiopia. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm hoping these aren't my actual ships, and they are. My light ships, at least. Let's send you over to Crimea, take out these pretenders. Now, it looks like the Mamluks do have some cannon, but not very much. The Janissaries. The Ottoman army was traditionally mainly composed of cavalry. In the mid-14th century, Orhan I and later on his son Murad I introduced the Janissaries. Formed from prisoners of war and slaves, the Janissaries went on to become an elite standing infantry, regularly paid and highly disciplined. Okay, we could get the Janissaries, so for the next couple, oh my goodness. I believe it's going to be for the next 100 years, even though it says 1821. We're going to get a lot more discipline and a lot more infantry, but we're going to have a disaster in 100 years. I think we'll continue building up the Janissaries for now. I don't want these ships to be destroyed. And it looks like we've taken out our very first pretenders, making our way to sack out the Crimean tribes. We have finally destroyed all of Karaman, and it looks like we were too late to rescue Syria. Okay, now looking at Karaman, we would like to take all of your territory. I have no idea if it's possible, and it looks like it is not. We're going to have 70 aggressive expansion, and they won't even accept this. Which I suppose is fine. We are taking their capital. 20 development. Not bad. About to send over 36,000 troops to crush whatever remains. Assuming that we make it in time. Okay, here we are. About to have a -1 crossing penalty. But I do believe we are going to win this battle. We have the discipline. And we obviously have the cannons, while the enemy does not. Let us siege down Damascus, and let us siege down what other provinces may be here. Now, all that should be left is one small rebel faction, and it looks like they have more troops than we do. But we have cannon, and not necessarily a better general either. A 4-1-2. We now have a 4-4 leader total, which is great news indeed. I'm really hoping we win this battle. We certainly might not. And everything has gone according to plan, except they are still alive. Hopefully we can fix that before the 1st of next month. And on to Kuma. All we want to do is just destroy them completely. And it looks like they're still alive. One day they'll fall completely. All of you will head to the coast, still sieging down Damascus. And it looks like we have wiped out all of the enemy units. Gonna be sending the rest of my troops back down. Don't think I want to call in Ethiopia. I have the ability to send my missionaries somewhere, someplace. So I need to Sinjar. And I am going to go ahead and put a cut in here. Thank you all so much for joining me. It really does mean a lot. As always, I will see you in our next adventure.